DC Direct Batman Fighting the Frozen Batman from McFarlane Toys Page Punchers line. Hi, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, that makes a lot of sense because I am new here too. This is my first video, so please don't judge me too harshly. Anyway, let's dive right in by looking at the package. If you are familiar with McFarlane Toys, you know that they normally use a box. This is quite a departure, but I think it is also an improvement on a lot of levels. For one, you can get a better look at the figure and all its accessories, as well as the obvious comic book, which is signature in the Page Punchers line. The downside is the rear, which has a lot of wasted space. I would have much rather seen more figures in the line or cover art, but without the labels. But it's just sort of this plain black background with the DC logo, which is fine if you're only going to display the front. But I would have liked to see a little bit more on the back end. Other than that, this is a really nice package, and if I were an inbox collector, yeah, I'd really like it because that would look good on any wall or shelf. But I'm not an inbox collector, so I'm going to tear the hell out of this thing. The figure comes with everything you see here. If you're familiar with McFarlane figures, then you've probably seen the figure stand way more times than you'd like to remember, and probably have a buttload of these inside your house. Also comes with a trading card, which looks to have the same art on it as the cover of the comic book, without the logos and lettering and whatnot. Looks like it has a small plot summary. Pause here if you want to get the info there. The summary is, of course, for the comic, which is a full-length original story. A nice Batman cover on it, but you'd know that if you looked at the card. Pause here if you want to find out more about the writers and artists. Looks to be a pretty decent story involving a little bit of time travel, a lot of snow, and some good old-fashioned barbarism, which I am always a fan of. Altogether, looks like a pretty decent story, and I'm always on the lookout for a little bit more Batman. Figure comes with a couple of accessories. This one looks to be an axe or machete, and this nice battle axe. Both look fairly detailed sculpt-wise and a little bit paint-wise. Would have benefited from a nice wash on both, just to really make the sculpted details pop. If you can see in the light, there's a lot of wood graining, there's some nicks and scratches. Yeah, pretty decent accessories though. I like them anyway. Figure itself has some nice detail in the sculpt, some scarring, weathering, just to make him look like he's been in a few fights. Some nice fur texture here, sculpted in, leather texture, stitching, just all around little details to make it a little more pleasing. Again, with the paint, I think a nice wash would have been a little better, but all around, not bad. He stands at about 7 inches, 7 3/4 if you count the ears. Articulation wise, his head's on a dumbbell, looks every which way, a little bit up, a little bit down, side to side tilt, and all the way around. Butterfly joint right there. It's decent amount of movement. Bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, and a McFarlane wrist ball that can go every which way. Very good. His spine can break like that in case they want to make a caveman Bane. And he actually crunches pretty well for a McFarlane figure. He can do the full Van Damme, which is pretty impressive, and has the double jointed knees. No thigh cut and no boot cut, but he's got some pretty decent range of movement in his ankle, as long as you bear in mind that this hinders it ever so slightly. He seems to scale well with other characters. Here we have the Nightfall Batman from DC Multiverse. Bear in mind I switched out the cape for something a little more custom. I'll have pretty much everything I'm comparing him with has just a slight tweak or two. Here he is scaled with the Mattel's Masterverse Revelation He-Man. Here he is with the Masterverse Viking He-Man. Had a little bit of trouble keeping him stood up without the figure stand. However, it can be done. I'm just very impatient. Just one more, because I think it's fitting. I customized a Conan, and yeah, he seems to look pretty decent next to that. I might actually put him like that on my shelf. And finally, for the hell of it, yeah, here he is leading the charge with a couple of his other shirtless buddies. All right, so there you have it. If you're a fan of Batman or the sword and sorcery aesthetic, barbarians, or just shirtless dudes, definitely recommend this figure. It's not without its flaws, but I think all in all, it's a pretty decent impulse buy for me. Leave a comment, like the video, let me know how I can improve, because that's the only way I can make this channel better. Thank you for your time, and have a nice day.